Hello, my dear friends. Namaste, Namaskar, and warm welcome again to this motivational series where we generally talk through various aspects of life, the various parameters that really helps you to be built as a person. And it's very, very important that we all continue to emerge as overcomers. Why it is important is this world will leave behind a lot of challenges, could bring in a lot of obstacles, and how are you positioning yourself to overcome those challenges really determines how successful you are in your life. And that's our only objective, and that's the reason we conduct these kind of sessions. And thank you very much for taking time and staying connected with us. All right, yet another day, yet another wonderful opportunity where we are able to present something that is very, very important. And this is part two. I hope you have watched part one. We are discussing through leadership excellence as a title, as a topic. And that also brings us, brings things to our attention that, what must be the quality of a leader? Who is called as a good leader, right? So we are also parallelly addressing both of these aspects, and we are reviewing through 20 attributes. We covered 7 or 8 attributes in our part 1, and this is part 2 where we will be covering the rest. That's why I'm straight away jumping into the session, because we have to complete this. The first one was very, very important. If you have not listened to it, please go to our playlist, listen it, and then you come back here, right? Otherwise you will not be able to map the continuation. In a previous session, I'm taking a little help from my Google Assistant, so don't mind. That's needed. We discussed through these attributes in our part 1: communication, emotional intelligence, integrity, and decision making skills, how important it is, creativity, self awareness. Excuse me, sorry. The Bangalore weather is terrible. It is changing frequently here and there, so I'm sorry. Creativity and self-awareness and accountability, and lastly we discussed about confidence. This is where we stopped, and we are going to continue. Why are these attributes important? If you fail to handle one of these attributes or all of these attributes, your base, the foundational principles, your foundation is going to be shaken. Earthquakes, when it emerges in a country like Japan, where frequent earthquakes are quite possible, or quite a possible scenario. Countries like Indonesia and all that, which is in the kind of middle of an equator, they generally have something like bunkers there where they can go and hide. Why do they run to a bunker? Is because the foundation will be shaken. They could feel, something shaking, and they are very scared. They know that a pillar might fall, or a wall might fall on them and stuff like that, and they run for their lives. Similarly, if your foundation of your leadership ability, leadership quality, leadership character is going to be shaken, people will run away from you. They will be scared of you, right? And you will never be able to run a successful business or successful, or at your workplace, whichever job you're into. You will never be a person who is successful. So that's why it's very, very important to understand the foundational principles. Foundational principles is connected to the attributes, the characteristic features of a leader. And once again telling you, leadership excellence is not only connected to your profession, but your personal life. Yeah, even as a husband, even as a wife, even as a parent, even as a father, mother, or a brother or sister, everything, it's connected. It's all about your life, and even your social life. How are you well placed, your responsibility for the society, everything matters. It's revolving across, the entire life is revolving and connected to these attributes. If you fail in one or more attributes, you will literally see a problem. Yeah, you will be successful in one area, you will not, you will be a failure in other 10 areas. You want to be successful as a person overall. You want to be an all-rounder. I like this Yuvraj Singh, wonderful cricketer, all-rounder. Fielding, my goodness, he dives and catches. Bowling, nicely he spins the ball. Batting, wow, excellent. Even Sachin Tendulkar is a very good all-rounder, but Yuvraj Singh is an excellent guy, right? So anyway, you are not a fan of Yuvraj Singh, forgive me for that. Okay, so I'm sorry. Let's get to the point. We'll continue the attributes, huh? Are you all interested? Right? All set? Okay. Let's get to the next attribute, after confidence. Problem solving attribute. What is problem solving? Look at the problem in a way to solve it. Do not look at the problem to kindle. There are a lot of people who are popular for this, right? They carry a can of kerosene or a, any fuel or something like that, and they, add more fuel to the burning fire. And those people are technically called as gossipers, slanderers, problem creators, and whatever, right? Instigators. You can give any name to them. Look at a problem in a way to solve it. Not all problems can be solved, but at least you'll be very convinced that I put my effort and the problem never got solved. Therefore, I don't have any guilt. I don't have any regret. I don't have any kind of problems in my conscience that I never gave it a try. You could give it a try. You're unable to solve it, that's quite a different thing. There are another session we have given, problem solving skills. It's in our motivational playlist. Please go to our channel and you will find it. Problem solving skills. How can you solve a problem? What skills you need to instigate in your mindset and all that. That's a different topic. But then you're giving your best, and the methods and patterns are different. There is no defined method, there is no defined pattern that you should only solve it through this method, this formula, and there is no equation like your chemistry or mathematics and stuff like that. The equation, see, when it comes to human beings, there is nothing called as equation. You got to create your formula, because human beings are the most complex people, and they are the most wonderful people. Because why? Our system is itself, our body itself is wonderfully made. I read it somewhere. All right, every organ in our body and all that wonderfully made. Look at the veins, the blood vessels. There are trillions of cells, static energy created. With that static energy, actually you could generate so many watts of electricity, and you could feed a village, something like that. One person in their lifetime, they generate so much of electricity. That's why your heart is beating without any battery. So human beings are wonderful, and it's also very difficult to deal with those human beings because they are wonderful and supernatural. They are great, right? So you need to have a little bit of patience and all that. So problem solving, every problem has a solution. I'm a tremendous believer. Yeah, sometimes a problem, a solution for certain problems, what is the solution for certain problems? Back off. Backing off is also good. It's a good solution. Yeah, back off or leave them alone. We have done a session, leave them alone. Certain people, you have to leave them alone for some time. They will realize after a period of time. So every problem definitely has a solution for sure, but you need to discover that, and that's part of your leadership ability. All right, let me continue because I have to finish this session today. Delegation, very, very important quality. I have seen lots of leaders struggling in this delegation skill. Lots of directors with whom I have worked, VPs with whom I have worked. I have not seen this act of delegation. You know what is the reason? Two reasons: either superiority complex or insecurity, the fear that they may lose their job or position. They don't want to delegate. For these two reasons, a person who doesn't delegate can never ever prosper as a great leader. They will never. I have seen those people, no, they are stuck in their position, and eventually I have seen that they've been demoted. They've started losing their portfolio and stuff like that, and they started come on the side of arena of degradation. They are not on the side of prosperity. They are not growing for this reason. you know I'm not saying you can delegate everything. You certain things you need to hold back, financial decisions and stuff like that, and certain judgment, certain judging things and all that. Final decision should be yours, I agree, but then you got to delegate. Therefore you're going to build your team. You're going to ensure that your team grows along with you, right? The more you hold it to yourself, you're not allowing the team to grow. You're not allowing the team to play their roles. Yeah, certain husbands always, those people who doesn't want to delegate, right? They are very dominant. Why they are dominant? Because they are fearful. They have an insecurity feeling. I may lose my job, I may lose my position as a husband. Certain wives, I may lose my position as a wife. What is this and all that? Don't be scared, right? You need to learn to delegate, right? And people will start loving you. The reason is, when you are good in delegating, you're also building a team, you're grooming a team, you're mentoring somebody, and people will come ask for your guidance, and you will have certainly a very good feeling when people come to you for help, right? Nothing like that. Oh, what a great pleasant feeling. Helping people is the best thing that could give you that calmness, that happiness, that joy, that satisfaction. Where you think your job satisfaction is? Job satisfaction is all about helping people. The more you help, the more satisfied you are. You won't believe this, try practicing, you will understand. And who will go through this experience? A good delegator. You got to be a good delegator. You want to be a good leader, be good at delegating. Okay? Delegating means what? Building. Some women, right? Some wives and homemakers. Kitchen is my area. Nobody can step inside that. They won't teach that. One day they are sick, no? They will order hotel food and all that, and because nobody is trained, their daughters are not trained, daughter-in-law is not trained, nobody is trained. You need to have a backup. That's called as delegation, right? When something goes wrong with your personal emergencies, the company doesn't suffer, your home doesn't suffer, because you already have a backup. They know what to do. That's nice, right? And next quality, learning. Learning is very, very important. Never ever walk in assumption. People who are self-complacent, complacency is really a very, very negative element that you need to pluck out of your mind and heart and throw it to the dustbin. Never walk in complacency, assumption. I know everything, I have nothing more to learn. I'm 25 years experience in this industry, do you know? And also very proud people, I've seen them. Every day is a learning. You can learn some things from a 5-year-old kid. Little babies can teach you certain things. When you take a baby and keep it close to your bosom and all that, that baby can teach something to you. Look opportunities to learn from everyone and everything, anyone and anything. Such a person will be a great leader. I have learned something today. At least one thing you have an opportunity to learn every week, every month, which means you have learned 4 or 5 things in a month. You have learned nothing, no? Nothing new have you learned, which means what? You are a person who is very complacent. You are a person who is also very arrogant. I'm sorry to say this. Huh? Every complacent person is very, very arrogant. I know everything. My decision is the final. Nobody can beat my decision. Such people, you will see them, you see their downfall. You will see your own downfall. You don't want to see your downfall. You want to see your success, right? Be a good learner. Yeah, very important. Okay, next, let us go. Active listening. If you want to be a good leader, no, give more work to your ears than your mouth. Sometimes you need to learn to, I would say most of the times you need to learn to zip your mouth. Open up your ears, listen to people. You don't have to consider everything they are saying. Listen, give them an opportunity to talk. Be an active listener. Second important quality, I've taken a different session on this also. What is listening skills all about? You got to be a listener of your own voice, especially when you're out of control, emotional situations. Listen to your own voice. That will tell you, hey, back off. That will say, zip your mouth, because the words of your mouth are really hurting the listener. The listener is a victim. Do you know that? Especially powerful people in powerful position. Listen to me, please. Don't kill people through the words of your mouth. That's really bad. You have, who gave you the rights to hurt a person? We have no rights to hurt a person, right? But you take it through the proper channel and all that, that's different. Be an active listener. It will help you to improve on your quality. Next important quality, be a motivator. Keep watching your team, whether their energy levels are low. Keep watching your children, keep watching your wife, your husband, energy levels are low. We go through ups and downs in our lives, right? We go through a lot of situations that are not under our control. And we really need to have this motivating skills. And how to motivate? Give them a solution. Give them an alternate. That's called as motivation. Motivation means not about pep talks. Pep talks will vanish. You walk out of a movie theater, you are the same person as you were when you entered inside the movie theater. 2.5 hours you will sit there and laugh and clap your hands and come back. Come back home, you are having the same grief. You are having the same sorrow, depression, this and that. That's called as pep talk. Motivation is all about giving alternates, helping people, grooming them, standing by their side. Make their problem as your problem and have that commitment. That's called as motivation. Be a good mentor. Motivators, very few people are there in the society. You hardly see any motivators. Why am I doing all this session? Somebody is paying me? Nobody pays me. But then I want to be a motivator because I know that I am responsible for my citizens. Citizens of India or any citizen of any country. I am responsible for mankind. Sorry for that language. I'm responsible for mankind, whoever you may be. Lot of people who listen to these videos are the people whom I have never even met once in my lifetime. People whom I know, right? they barely listen to these videos. That's okay. No offenses, right? Because I feel that responsibility. We have to motivate one another. Very, very important, beloved. Don't lose that skill. If you are a good motivator, always continue to motivate, continue to be a good motivator, don't give up on that. Next important thing, humility. Be a good leader will be a very humble person. He will never be having any proud talks, prejudice, and bragging about his success. Hey guys, you know who I am and what an achievement. And he likes, people always praising him. He will never expect praises. He or she will never expect praises. They'll be very humble, very simple. That's okay. That was yesterday. If people talk about some success of the past, no, that was yesterday. Forget it. Today is a different day. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new life. It's a brand new challenge. So let's talk about this. They will cut off immediately. They will never even spend time in listening to that and all that. Thank you, thank you. It's okay. Let's move to the next topic. They'll be very quick to move on. Such a person is called as a very humble person. Every humble person are going to be really, really successful. And not only that, be humble. Don't ever get inside a room and expose your skills, and give opportunity for others to talk and correct them whenever needed. Some people know when they drive certain meetings, they are like alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. They will start and they will end. In between, nobody gets an opportunity. People will hate to attend such meetings. Even one-on-one, certain one-on-ones I attend, right, with some of my ex bosses or ex leaders, and they will only talk. One-on-one is for other person to talk. What complaints you have, what do you want to expose, give them an opportunity. Okay. And such a person will definitely be a good leader. I'm rushing a little bit. I can talk about humility all day, because very, very important skill, right? Don't ever lose that humility. Be a very, very simple and humble person. Life is very short, beloved. What are you going to gain being a very proud person? You know who I am, you know who is my grandfather and all that. Forget it. Your grandfather is gone, you will also be gone. So very, very simple life. Don't complicate it. Next, innovation. Innovation is all about creativity, which we covered already. But innovation is doing things differently. The same thing you could discover doing differently. How do you do it is something that you need to do a lot of groundwork, or the experience of the past, or you got to talk to a person who's skilled in that field. You are not skilled. You're skilled in certain areas. You're a specialist or an expert in certain areas, but you are not specialist of everything. Never ever kind of pretend as if you know everything. I have gone to certain meetings and I've told I know nothing about what you're going to discuss in this meeting. So guys, please educate me. Consider me as an elementary student, or a kindergarten student. I have made this statement many times. And you know what? People really welcome that. They like it. They will not, mock at you and all that. What is it? You don't know the basic and all that. Nobody mocks. Then you're humble, right? When people really welcome that. And that's how you can be a good innovator. You got to learn from a specialist. And you got to do things differently. People may have different ideas. Don't try to instigate only your method into a person's mind. This is the best method in the world. There is nothing called as best method, right? There are different ways to handle. The other method could be a better method than yours. You really need to listen, and that's how you could be a good innovator. All right. Now let's go to the next one. Transparency. Transparency is very, very important, beloved. I don't know why people are not transparent in this world. You know what? There is a part 3. My time is up. Time is running. And part 3, we'll talk about leadership excellence. And we will talk in part 3. With transparency, we will close. Because I have other 7-8 attributes. I don't want to really rush. This is very important. Leader means what? You want to be a good human being, you got to be a good leader. Yeah? You want to be a very honest person, you want to be a good leader. You want to be a very successful person, you got to be a good leader. You want to be a person who's to be a good overcomer of challenges and all that, you got to be a good leader. Leadership quality is like a center core. Every attribute of your life is connected to that center core, right? It's our Venn diagram. All the Venn diagrams intersects and all that. There is a core intersector, leader. Okay, we'll talk about transparency and we will close. You're okay? All right. Transparency is all about not speaking everything that you know. People are really, really confused with this topic. You don't have to talk everything to everyone. You are not supposed to, because there are certain financial secrets that you are not supposed to reveal. It's a secret. It's very confidential. You can't talk everything to everyone. But then at the same time, you can't hide back certain things which you were supposed to talk, which you are supposed to reveal. You can't hide back. Hiding back is definitely not great idea on certain areas. How are you able to discern, is through your judgmental skills and decision making skills, about which we discussed in part 1. Judgmental skills and decision making skills are very, very important for you to be a very transparent person. Where to be transparent, for what to be transparent, when to be transparent, to whom I should be transparent. I struggle to, kind of correlate these 4 questions. To whom I should be transparent, that really matters. When I should be transparent, on what I should be transparent, right, really matters. Don't discuss certain things. You can be transparent only to people of certain senior roles, or certain things you can be transparent only to a person who's in a junior role. At workplace, I'm saying. Even at home, right, everything that you discuss with your wife, there is no necessity that you should reveal it to your children, because they don't have the capacity to process. They don't have the maturity to process. But they don't have secrets with your children that you cannot be transparent with your wife. That's wrong. You got to be very transparent with your spouse on what you discuss with your children. I think I gave enough examples. Transparency is very important. Every person who's transparent will be a very honest person. Honesty is very, very important character too. Okay, with that we close. Part 2 is over. Stay tuned. We will come with part 3. We are talking here about a very, very important title. What is that? Leadership excellence. I keep forgetting. Or who can be a good leader, or who can be a great leader, or who is a leader? Many questions we are answering. Stay tuned. I will meet with you, and let us have a wonderful blast in our part 3. I promise part 3 we will close up. Seriously. Thank you very much for your time. Share this video, the channel details, with whomever you know, and help everyone to grow as a good leader, to become a great leader. God bless you. Namaste, namaskar. Take care.